Croissant is a laminated dough that often takes days to make. I'm gonna take that 3-day process and roll it into an hour-and-a-half for you. It's gonna be awesome. Today we're going to use Dawn 4x4 croissant squares. These squares come in frozen, so they're easy to use. Thaw them for about 20 minutes and let them come to room temperature. In this way, they're cold, but just flexible. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set one on my work surface, spritz it with a little bit of water, and place another square right on top. Nestle it in. Now I'm going to use a donut cutter and I'm going to cut one donut from top to bottom. Save your scraps for another use. I use them for monkey bread or really anything else in the shop. Once you've slid it into the donut cutter, we're going to use a little offset spatula here to help me get it out, and out we go. This is a tall dough. That's okay, that's how it's supposed to be. Now I'm just showing you a couple of squares, so I'm working with them one at a time. However, you can do this in production in your own shop, either using the squares or the sheets. After you've made up the croissant donuts, you have two different choices. One is to fry them same day. If that's the case, move them into the proofer for 30 minutes and then fry. Your second choice is to cover it in plastic and retard overnight. The next morning, you'll floor them for an hour and then proof for 30 minutes. Let's talk about frying. These get fried a little bit lower than your average donut because they're so thick. So you will fry these at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. A great time to fry these croissant donuts is when you're doing your old fashions. They fry low also. You will fry these for 2 minutes on each side. So don't be afraid if you see them get a little dark. They're supposed to. We need those laminated layers to get nice and done in between. If you notice, after I fried for 2 minutes on each side, I always take a temp because we have to make sure that dough is done in the middle. This awesome donut will temp at 200 degrees when it's ready to go. Once the donuts have fried and cooled, now it's time to fill and decorate. What's really interesting about these donuts is we're actually going to fill them from the top. And we do that because when we ice them, the bottom will become the top. In order to make that awesome 2-layer filling that you see in those famous croissant donuts, we're going to need a special piping tip. This thing is kind of long and kind of thin. Now, you could use a donut stick for this as well, whatever you have around your bake shop that will work. In order to fill these donuts, we have to pierce the top, and using a quick motion so that we don't crack the croissant donut through. We're gonna make 4 holes in the top of the donut. You can listen to that pastry crackle. Isn't that awesome and delicious? Let's do it again. Now it's time to fill the donuts. I'm using my Dawn Exceptional Vanilla Bavarian Cream. What we're going to do is have that first layer of filling lay in. So I'm going to take my Bavarian cream and I'm going to take the tip and put it all the way down to the bottom and then bring it up just slightly and squeeze. I'm going to do that in each of those 4 layers I just cut. What this should do is it'll give you a layer around the bottom of the donut. Because this is laminated, the filling will move around the sides easily, but I did have to pierce it to get it all the way down. Now, if adding 2 fillings feels like a lot, you can absolutely just put 1 filling in your donut. But today we're going to do 2 layers to see that gorgeous cross section. The difference between the first filling and the second filling is now when I add this down, I am only going to bring my tip partway in so you can see that it's held much higher than the first one was. Because we're adding so much filling to these, you may see them come out the sides a little bit. That's okay, we've got these gorgeous flaky layers. In front of me, I have my Dawn Exceptional White Flat Icing that's been flavored with my Dawn Strawberry Fruit Bits. I've used 1 ounce of fruit bits to 1 pound of flat icing. In front of that is my pink sanding sugar. What's so different about these donuts is I filled them from the top, so I'll actually ice the bottom and then turn them over. When dipping the croissant donut into the icing, be careful just to dip the very top layer so that you don't lose any of those beautiful flakes. What I love about this donut is it feels seasonal and springy and summery, but you could sub in almost any Dawn filling to make it a new LTO for your donut case.